Hello and welcome to KU Around the Horn. I'm your host, Mike Downing. Today our panelists are Zach Ransom, Alex Quinn, and Stephanie Pancher. Let's start with the NBA. Zach, can anyone knock off the Golden State Warriors this year?
First of all, I don't think anybody in the Eastern Conference is. I just don't think they have the talent or mostly the firepower. Now, in the West, if there's any team that's going to do it, it's the San Antonio Spurs. They have the defense, they have the ability to go into Golden State and beat them, and they've proven they can beat Golden State in San Antonio. Greg Popovich and the Spurs don't believe in the aura of great teams, and they've beaten great teams. So if anybody's going to do it out of the West, it's going to be the San Antonio Spurs.
So are they going to do it?
I don't think they will, sir.
Okay. Alex?
Yeah, I have to agree with Zach that the only real competition for the Warriors is going to be San Antonio. As it looks right now, I don't see anyone beating the Warriors because Cleveland's they're too much a mess in the locker room. Clippers are just, you don't know with Blake Griffin, and then the Thunder do not have enough depth, so I'm going with the Warriors.
Okay, Stephanie.
Well, Dr. D, considering this team is only 3 wins away from tying for the most wins ever, I think it's safe to say that any opponent is going to have a tough time beating them. Also, keep in mind their standout player, Steph Curry, who shoots, at about 50%. I just think he's such a great asset to that team offensively. And also, don't forget that the Warriors they've sunk 1,025 three-pointers, which is the most ever. So any team that's going to beat them really has to bring a tight defensive game.
Okay, today's media spotlight is brighter than ever. How does media attention affect professional athletes? Alex?
I don't think media affects anyone in sports, because you can look at the Spurs, who get no media attention. They've been winning for the past 10 years, but you can also look at the Warriors as of late. The more spotlight they've been getting, the better they've been playing, and you can also take into account LeBron James' entire career. He's been followed since high school, and he hasn't regressed one bit.
Okay, Stephanie.
I believe that the attention from media affects every athlete differently. Some can handle the attention, and while others, they really let it get to their head. However, some use the recognition for some motivation, while others become too flattered, and it really downgrades their performance. So I think it all just depends on the type of athlete and how they perceive this type of attention.
Okay, Zach.
I think it affects every athlete quite negatively, to be quite honest with you. I mean, there are many athletes that can't handle that pressure. You have TMZ, who are like Hawks. I mean, they're probably going to be at like births coming up soon. But with media, look at Cam Newton. He walked out of a Super Bowl press conference early. Greg Hardy's been criticized heavily for doing an interview with Adam Schefter on domestic violence. I think today's athletes are just going to have to live with the fact that the media are like Hawks and they're out there more than ever, and they're just going to have to kind of deal with it. And unfortunately, so far, I don't think many athletes have handled it quite well.
Okay, very good. Our final question is about Major League Baseball. Should baseball adopt a pitch clock? Stephanie.
No way should a pitch clock ever be utilized. I used to pitch softball in high school, and one thing I disliked more than anything was when I felt crunched for time. I liked having my time in between pitches. On the other hand, a pitcher, they're supposed to be controlling the game. So I think the last thing they should have to worry about is, having that time frame in between pitches. They need time to clear their mind in between pitches, and be ready for the next pitch. So I don't think it should ever happen, no.
Okay, Zach.
I agree with Stephanie. I don't think they need a pitch clock at all, because pitchers need to have a rhythm. If you're putting them on a pitch clock, you're going to break up the rhythm that the pitchers are going to have. I think baseball's trying too hard to make their game a little bit more exciting, but I think there's other ways of doing it than messing with a pitcher's rhythm and having them be on like a shot clock like it's basketball or something. It's baseball. They've been doing it a certain way for over 100 years, and then they don't need to start changing it now. It's something that's been working for over 100 years.
Okay, nice job. Alex?
I would have to disagree. I definitely think that they should add a pitch clock, because currently they're only behind the NFL for the longest game right now. And with the almost nearly a minute in between each pitch, I think the game needs to speed it up a little, get more exciting in order to secure fans in the future generation.
Okay, thanks to our panelists. That'll do it for KU Around the Horn. Tune in next week when we discuss the NBA playoffs. Will LeBron James lead Cleveland to the promised land?